We're here in the stadium, in one of the interview rooms, and we've got Dave Bailey here, the International Soccer Schools manager. Term 2 has kicked off really well. Some successes with the FA Level 1. We've had some great top level games here for the boys, and we've also integrated our new intake from January onto the course. But one of the major things is we've moved the coaching up to Lostock, the academy training facilities of Bolton Wanderers. And Dave, that's an interesting move. It's really brought on the course.
Yeah, listen, that came about from obviously negotiating with the academy director and the main bulk of the club, the chairman and the board. And really it's about developing the programme that we have here, the link with the club. The International Football Studies programme, the Bolton Wanderers Educating England programme. It was about developing it and enhancing it, and the way to do that was better facilities. We were getting more boys, and so moving to Lostock, which is a state-of-the-art facility running into millions, 7 to 10 million, having the AstroTurf so we can train all weathers, and having the access to grass pitches like you've seen, all that carpet up there, being able to facilitate a games programme without constantly having games called off, is, you know, it can only help our programme on a long-term development basis. It certainly helps the players, and it certainly has given everybody involved in the programme a big lift.
Super. And has it really developed the actual playing side of what you can actually coach with the
yeah, you know, it's you know, we can do a little bit more structured sessions. You know, the facilities that we've had and we still use are still very good facilities, but to move to better facilities with bigger fields, bigger access, bigger goals. You know, it adds to the programme. We can do a lot of phases of play, we can do a lot of shape play, which only adds to the boys in the theory of in theory in a team of fitness, understanding and technique. You know, we're concentrating on the understanding in the second term, so we've been able to incorporate some phases of play and shape, and the way we've done it is we've gone from a 4-4-2, which we've predominantly used. We've now introduced a 4-3-3, where we've introduced point up, point down, and we've been able to give them a variety of options, and listen, that only helps their football education.
Super. We've had the new intake from January, the boys that are doing 6 months. I know we spoke in January about them integrating in and how difficult it'll be to catch up with the pace of the game. How have the new intake took to the course, basically?
Yeah, listen, they've took to the course very well. You know yourself, mate, they always do, but the flip side is it's tempo, it's adjusting to the pace, and the ones who have shown out in the intake are the ones that have adapted to the pace quicker. Ironically enough, they probably are the more experienced and better athletes. I think Ioanni's coming in a bit older than some of the others. But it's about adapting to the game that's here, and that can be very difficult for them. But the transition, you know, and the support network they get, and obviously now, as I say, moving to Lostock has only helped all those. But I think that they're getting there. I think it was just recently we were talking to Blake on interview in the stadium through the door there, and Blake was commenting himself just how fast it is and how hard it is compared to what he's used to. And really that's what they come on the programme for.
Super. They've obviously played some high profile games, had some disappointing results, but a lot of learning points from them games. Yeah,
listen, you know, in a week we conceded 17 goals and only scored 1. The lads are devastated about that, but my answer at the end of the week is, you know, they played Preston North End, where Phil Brown, ex-assistant manager here, obviously Brownie was there, Brian Horton and David Unsworth, and Preston are at the bottom of the league. They're struggling for survival, they're confident they can get out of there, but likewise they're practical, they know they're building if they do go down, and so they're looking at players, and they use the opportunity of playing us to blood some other players and to have a look at players who are on the fringes of the first team to see how they cope. And listen, every credit to Preston, they were very, very good on the day. They played the right football, they had trialists in, it looked like they had Ukrainians or Eastern Bloc players in, and they did a job on us. We then had a development game against a top college side, top of the league, and we come unstuck in that game as well. We then finished the week off by playing Welling United, good pedigree in the FA Cup, history of good non-league setup, and we were the better side on the day. And if we'd have took our chances in the first 20 minutes, the game would have been over. But it was, 1-1 going into half-time. We couldn't maintain a clean sheet in the first half, and that gave them a lift. And they scored very quickly in the second half, and we were up against it. Then we decided to go 3 at the back and try and get something out of the game, and we got beat 3-1. But the positives are they've had one hell of a week there, and they finished that off with watching the first team pick up another 3 valuable points, sat in an English Premier League stadium. So they've just trained on state-of-the-art facilities all week. They've played 3 pedigree teams, one of them a pro team, one of them a semi-pro team, and they've topped that off by watching our first team pick up 3 points. I have to say, what a week. I wasn't complaining, I didn't shout at the boys, I told them that that's what football's about, and it's about bouncing back, and that's what they've got to do. And I thought after the first 2 games, where we conceded 7 goals in each game, I'm not going to hide that, they bounced back very well against Welling, and now we're looking forward to the final few games in the second term.
Good, and they've got some high-profile games coming up, haven't they, before they leave in March for a 3-week break.
Listen, it would be easy for us to find teams and find teams that we could comfortably beat. But listen, this is a challenging programme, and I'm a great believer that players need to be challenged. So the last 3 games are, they're playing Nantwich Town, that's well established, in the lower leagues in the north area. They've got Bacup Borough again, who are just the same, and likewise they're topping that off by playing Loughborough University. Listen, Loughborough University will have a lot of probably lads who've been released by academies or ex-pros. These are good games, but it's a challenge, and they need to be challenged. And if they want to develop and see what they're like, we don't want easy games for them. And likewise, playing the games at Lostock as well, it's just, these boys, it's fantastic for them. And no matter what happens, they'll take these memories away for as long as they live.
Super. I mean, we're talking there about the team, the target games, the development games, and playing as a team, which I can see they're coming together really well as a team, as a unit, as that. But individual progressions as well, talking about that, we've got some lads that are really pushing on individually and developing themselves.
We have. We've got 2 boys right now that are on the younger side of our programme, under 15s, that have stepped up on half term. It's half term in this country for the schoolboys, so they've stepped up and trained with the under 15s academy, and they've played 2 games so far. They've got another game tomorrow, and they're holding their own up there. At the end of the week, I'll speak to the players and I'll speak to the parents and let them know how they've done, and I'll probably do an update of how they've done for everybody to see. But at the moment, I don't want to discuss it because it's still ongoing. But all I'll say is one of those boys, Mohammed, scored the winner in a game yesterday when we played a representative side from Manchester. He scored the winner in a 3-2 win. Very good goal as well, very well taken. He then ran to the sidelines, knelt down, looked at the sky, and he obviously thought there was some divine intervention there. Then he kissed the ground. But what I'm saying is the emotion side, that means a lot to that boy. You'll never be able to take that away, no matter how successful he is or in his trial.
Superb. So we've got 2 weeks left of this term. What have they got to look forward to in that final term? It's a 13-week term, term 3.
Yeah.
What things have they got to look forward to in that last term?
Well, in the 3rd term, we've got 2 tournaments coming up. We're taking the team away to Madrid, where we're going to go and enter the Madrid tournament. This will be our 3rd time we've been out there. Let's hope we do better than what we've done in the last 2, but we're going to go out there. It's a great experience for them to go and represent the club abroad. It's a great experience to get another culture as well, and it's competitive. It's a winning mentality. You win, you go through, you lose, you're out. So it's an experience for them on that side, tournament football. The other tournament we've got is our own College Cup, which we'll host down at the academy at Lostock, where we'll have probably another 10 colleges involved. That'll be the 2nd year of that. Again, that's tournament football. You win, you're in, you lose, you're out. And on top of that, in the 3rd term, we'll be having the games similar to what we've had. We'll try and get Welling. We might try and get a trip up there. We'll try and play Preston again, and we'll see if we can develop them and keep pushing them forward. They'll meet the first team. I'm going to try and get them up to watch the first team train. They'll continually watch the Premier League, and it's an exciting run-in. You know, we've got some big games coming up. We've still got Arsenal to come, we've still got Manchester City to come, we've still got Blackpool to come, my team. So we'll see how they cope, but it's an exciting time. On the football front, we're going to really try and concentrate on their technique a little bit. I know that might seem a bit strange that we don't do that first, but we tend to work on the fitness in the first term, the understanding in the second term, and in the third term we're looking at technique. We're working on a basis of 1,000 touches a day, so we'll see if that helps and develops us. It's an idea we're going to try and roll with. But this term, certainly understanding's helped. We're going to concentrate still on that because we're trying to play different formations. With the majority of the first term we played 4-4-2, which everybody knows. We've now opted to try and play 4-3-3 with a holding midfielder and also an attacking midfielder. And we're seeing how they develop because we want them to understand the game. So the third term is a big game, 13 weeks. You know, they won't be far off getting a game a week in there. As I say, now we're up at Lostock, that gives us that opportunity, then having games called off. So, you know, it'll be a tough third term, but an exciting one for them to finish.
Superb. So looking forward to a strong finish to the programme.
Very much so, yes, very much so. You know, the boys, you know, after the week that we had, we kind of decided that we needed a bit of a bonding thing. So, you know yourself that we've got them down doing the making the rafts and
the rafting, the canoeing,
yeah,
and everything this morning in the rain.
Yeah, exactly. It's a team bonding thing. You know, we took a hard week, and you know, at the end of it, we've got 2 boys that are called up to go and train with the main under-15s. So listen, a hard week has been rewarded with that. We've got them doing the team bonding. We'll see how the reaction is on Friday when we play at Lostock at 2 o'clock against Nantwich. We'll see how they cope. I've already heard one of the lads, Will, fell through the raft, so he must be absolutely freezing now because it's absolutely bitter and cold out there and raining. And on top of that, he's fallen in the lake. But, you know, again, team bonding, it's about that. It's about giving them the experience of the team, and that'll only add to it. And we'll see the reaction when we play Nantwich.